But what it shows is that we don't care about if you're a 5-star, 4-star, or walk-on, which he was. And he's out there playing. Valuable time, not garbage time. He's out there playing and putting in some real production for us. So I'm proud of Cash. She's one of my favorites as well.
This is Plumber football. Give it everything.
Coach Prime has turned heads in Boulder. From a full program overhaul to national media buzz, Deion Sanders has undoubtedly reshaped Colorado football. He's brought in top recruits, ignited national attention, and made the Buffaloes relevant again. The energy is different. The spotlight is brighter. The results, even in the early stages, have been hard to ignore. But beneath the headlines and celebrity appearances, there's another story, a quieter one. And it's about more than hype. It's about recognition. It's about how scholarships, the bedrock of college football achievement, are awarded at Colorado, and how sometimes they're not. This isn't a hit piece. We're not here to discredit Coach Prime. This is about nuance, about appreciating the transformational things he's done, while also questioning some of the decisions that could shape the locker room in the long term. Because when a player like Cash Cleveland doesn't receive a scholarship, even after proving himself, it raises eyebrows. And more importantly, it raises questions. Let's start with the obvious. What Coach Prime has done at Colorado is remarkable. No one else has flipped a roster like this. No one else has taken a program stuck in irrelevance and injected it with so much life so quickly. We've seen a wave of talent come in, many of them blue-chip players. We've seen ESPN segments, sellout crowds, social media takeovers, and a fan base that finally feels like it matters again on the national stage. Prime hasn't just changed the team, he's changed the brand. And for that, he deserves every bit of credit. But success isn't just about flash. It's also about substance. It's about culture. It's about rewarding the players who show up every day, put in the work, and produce when it counts. And that's where things get complicated. The NCAA allows FBS programs to offer up to 85 scholarships. That's the ceiling. But so far under Coach Prime, Colorado hasn't consistently hit that number. In fact, by multiple accounts, there have been open scholarships left unfilled over the past 2 seasons. Now, why is that? No one outside the program knows for sure. Maybe it's strategic, maybe it's financial, but it raises a fundamental question. If you have scholarships available and you've got walk-ons who are contributing on Saturdays, why not reward them? This goes beyond playing time. It's about merit. In the era before NIL, players were often awarded scholarships not just for starting games, but for their overall value to the team. Practice players, special teams warriors, guys who gave the starters a tough look every day. Those players mattered, and their contributions were recognized, sometimes even before they saw the field. And now, in an era where NIL has raised the stakes, one could argue that scholarships should be the easiest part to hand out, especially when the program is pulling in revenue, building brand equity, and attracting national attention. If anything, it's become even more important to take care of your own. This brings us to the story that inspired this video. According to an article by Athlon Sports, offensive lineman Cash Cleveland left the program after a reported dispute over a scholarship. Let's talk about this player. Cash Cleveland was not a 5-star recruit. He wasn't a flashy transfer with headlines following him. But what he was and is a gamer, a competitor, a young lineman who got thrown into the fire when things weren't going well and held his own. As a true freshman walk-on, Cleveland became the first in school history to start at center. Think about that. A walk-on, at center, starting in Power 4 football. It wasn't supposed to happen, but it did. After a string of poor performances and botched snaps from Hank Zelinskas, Cleveland stepped in and solidified the position. Over the course of the season, he played in 6 games and started the final 4. He logged 296 offensive snaps, 234 of them as a pass blocker. In all of that time, he allowed just 1 sack, 1 QB hit, and 2 hurries. That's not just solid, that's elite, and the recognition followed. Cleveland was named to multiple freshman All-American teams by On3, 247 Sports, and PFF. Analysts across the country took note. He wasn't just good for Colorado. He was one of the most promising young centers in college football. So when Cash Cleveland approached the staff and asked to be put on scholarship, it made perfect sense. He had earned it. He had produced. He had answered the call. But reportedly, the answer he got was no. As a result, Cash Cleveland entered the transfer portal, and the interest was immediate. Teams from the SEC, Big Ten, and ACC came calling. Texas A&M, Mississippi State, North Carolina, Illinois, West Virginia, California, USF, Texas Tech. The list goes on. That's the kind of talent Colorado just let walk out the door. And what makes it worse? By all accounts, Cleveland wanted to stay. He wanted to be a Buffalo. He wanted what he earned. The consequences of a move like this go beyond losing a player. It affects the team dynamic. Reports say that freshman standout Jordan Seaton, one of Coach Prime's biggest recruiting wins on the offensive line, was torn up about Cleveland's departure. And who could blame him? Chemistry on the offensive line is critical. It's not just about individual talent, it's about trust, about timing, about knowing the guy next to you is locked in. When players see a teammate work hard, play well, and still not get rewarded, it sends a message, and not a good one. What does that say to the walk-ons? To the backups? To the next man up? That no matter how well you play, it might not matter? Now let's be clear. It's not that Coach Prime doesn't award scholarships, he does. One of the best recent examples is Ben Finiseth, a special teams standout who played in all 13 games last season, racking up 8 solo tackles and becoming a core contributor on kick and punt units. Finiseth didn't start any games on defense, but his impact was felt, and this spring he was awarded a scholarship, and rightfully so. But that's where the confusion lies. If Finiseth, a valuable contributor, was worthy of a scholarship, and again he was, then how is it possible that a player like Cleveland, a starting center with national accolades, wasn't? There's no consistency. And in a sport where locker room culture is everything, that inconsistency can do real damage. Let's bring it back to the big picture. This isn't about criticizing Coach Prime for the sake of it. He's done incredible things at Colorado, no question. But greatness comes with expectations. It invites accountability. And that means asking hard questions when things don't add up. Scholarships should be about loyalty, about merit, about sending the message that if you grind, if you contribute, and if you produce, the program takes care of you. It's not just about football. It's about trust, about culture, about building a team where players feel seen, valued, and supported. This is where Coach Prime has an opportunity, not just to continue building a winning program, but to build one that lasts, one that players want to stay in, one that values the guys who make sacrifices, not just the ones who make headlines. Cash Cleveland didn't leave because he wanted to chase the spotlight. He left because he didn't feel rewarded for what he had already proven. And that's a tough pill to swallow for any fan who wants to see Colorado succeed on and off the field. The Buffs just lost a foundational piece of the offensive line, a player with 3 years of eligibility, freshman All-American honors, and a desire to stay in Boulder. That should never have come down to a scholarship debate. Coach Prime has built something special. But if Colorado wants to continue on the same impressive trajectory, decisions like this need to be rethought. Because no matter how many stars a recruit has, programs are built on players like Cash Cleveland, guys who earn it. Let us know what you think in the comments. Should Cash have received a scholarship? Was this a miss by the coaching staff? And what can be done to prevent this from happening again? Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content on Colorado football. And as always, give it everything.